I had originally trained in photography and graphic design, and 10 years of being in production, it was great, I really enjoyed it, but I felt like I wanted to do something much more creative and also work for myself. I literally had an epiphany moment in my garden while I was doing some gardening and was on the phone to a friend of mine and said, I really fancy doing something else and I'm not quite sure what it is. Hang on a minute, why don't I do this? And that was it. I did lots of research, looked into different colleges. The one thing that actually swung it for me was I emailed lots of landscape architects and garden designers and said to them, I'm thinking about retraining. It's a big deal for me. What college do you think is the best place for me to go? Because if I'm going to apply and get a job with you, for example, where would you want to know that I'd trained? And the majority of them said Inchbald. When I was at Inchbald, we had to set up a month's work experience. I wanted to go and work with somebody like Christopher Bradley Hull. And because of the connections that they had, it helped set up the work experience. I went and had an interview with him and then worked with him for a month. And at the end of the month, he offered me a job, which was fantastic. So I worked with him for 1 day a week while I was finishing the course, and I then worked with him full time, which was an amazing experience. It was fantastic. I worked with him then for a year and then sort of bit the bullet and thought, well, actually, it's time that I went and did it myself. I felt that I'd left Inchbald with a huge amount of knowledge behind me, but I also knew that I had them to go to if I had any questions. My first big break was, ironically enough, a very small garden. It was 4 metres by 6 metres in Chiswick, and the clients literally wanted everything that you could possibly want in a space, but I had to think outside the box. They wanted outdoor entertaining seating area, they wanted somewhere to grow fruit and vegetables, they wanted somewhere for their child to play, sand pits and things like that. Plus they wanted a beautiful selection of planting. So I was really set to the challenge, but I managed to achieve it. I sort of thought outside the box, which is part of the training that you get from Inchbald, and I got quite a lot of press coverage from it. So that was my big break. At Inchbald, the design principles that they teach you are really paramount to you using and executing to be able to achieve fantastic garden designs. You can't design a space without understanding the design principles, which is something where I think they lead against other places.